Welcome to New Beginnings. This is follow-up on Talyn, who was going to the methadone clinic and had some interesting things to say about it. But that's been a couple of years ago. So what do you have to say for yourself now, young man?
Well, the methadone clinic, I mean, as much as I resented the idea of waking up every morning before work and having to leave an hour early just to go get medicine, that me going every day, though, was part of the catalyst that helped me want to get off of it. And I got off of the methadone. You have to detox for 3 days and have to have the methadone completely out of your system before you can get on Suboxones. And then I got on Suboxones, and I was on Suboxones for about 2.5 to 3 months, I think. And and that Suboxone is different. They give you a week-long prescription, so I didn't have to go every day. So that was nice. But then I started taking less and less and less every day. And then one day I was like, yep, I'm going to not take it anymore. I stopped going to the clinic and started taking this stuff called Kratom, which is if I would have known more about Kratom before I started dosing on methadone, I probably would have just went that route right out the gate, because it would have been more expensive. Obviously, it definitely would have been more expensive. But yeah, I mean, it was a savior, but it kind of sucked going to the methadone clinic every day.
Helped you stay clean.
Helped me stay clean. That's true.
You're still heroin free. So
that's true. And it's
you're doing pretty good. It's been 2.5 years.
So there was 2 months there where I wasn't working and just going to the clinic every day and just kind of hanging out. And then I started working. And then once I started working and having to go to the methadone clinic and having to be sober around work, it became more of a hindrance, especially once I was to the point where I was the assistant manager of a speedway. I was doing pretty adult stuff. We have our car. I had stuff going that a lot of people at the methadone clinic just were not. They weren't on the same level. They weren't there yet, I guess, in their recovery. But I was I can't be on this stuff. But then it would be I'd go one day without methadone, and I'm I can't go to work today. I'm not going to work today.
So what was it like being on the methadone?
When Grace and I first started going, before Kenley was born, Grace and I, we would be high, like we were high on heroin all day, when you first start. And then after a while, you build your tolerance, and then it's just, and that's the other thing, is that they're companies, they make money, especially if you have access or whatever, and you go to these clinics, they make more money by you having access than you paying out of pocket, because they charge your insurance company way more than they try to charge more.
That would be state-funded healthcare.
Yeah, state-funded healthcare, yeah. So then they want you, and then that's the thing, is that the more that they prescribe you too, the more that they can charge your insurance company. So they want you to dose more. They're if you have any withdrawal symptoms, if you feel anything, take more. Just take a little. We can give you more. And then that's how I think they get you too, because there's people that have been dosing for 20 years there, and they're still using drugs, and they're just addicted to the methadone too. And I was that's not gonna be me. That can't.
Yeah.
It can't be me. And yeah, I think a lot of it too, though, was having Grace as a recovery partner was pretty helpful too. We kept each other honest and accountable for the most part, pretty much. We try to still do that, and so I think that's also been cliche, but my saving grace. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I had heard from other people that getting off Suboxone is really painful and hard. How was that for you?
Honestly, that Kratom stuff is stuff you can just buy at a smoke shop. I'm pretty sure it ended up giving me a dirty drop one time at the clinic, but because I was taking the prescribed dose is 6 Kratom pills per 4 hours, but I was taking 15, 20 of them because I felt so shitty at a time. I would do a couple handfuls and then go back to sleep for 3 hours and then wake up in a sweat. And it was a whole lot of not being able to sleep, and then when I was able to sleep, it was super uncomfortable with terrible dreams. This might be kind of TMI, but my bowel, and since I've been completely off of the Kratom and everything, my BM schedule has become a lot more regular, which is cool, but it kind of sucks now because every day at work around noon I have to go to the bathroom and
but that's normal.
That's normal people stuff. Right. But then it would be we're out in the woods. I can't take a truck to go drop a deuce, so I have to crouch behind a bush and hope the neighbors don't come out.
Your mom told me that when you're on heroin, you just have diarrhea, or
you can't.
You can't.
Oh, okay.
They actually make a medication for opioid constipation. They prescribe it to people that are on Percocet or Oxycontin or whatever that get it prescribed. But it actually it gums you. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure that's where like stomach ulcers and stuff like that comes into play when you do a lot of heroin, is because your stomach, it just, all that stuff, everything you eat and drink, it just builds up and it starts to like create abscesses in your stomach, which is not good.
But you're doing good now.
I'm pooping good.
Well, I guess I meant in a broader sense, but okay. All right. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to ask you a question. Oh, okay. So it's been several months since you were on anything.
When did I go to Colorado? That was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
2 months ago. It was So in August was the last time I took Suboxone, and then right around the middle of September was when I was pretty much off the kratom. I was on the kratom for like 5 weeks maybe.
So you've had a couple months of just being human. Just
being a human, comfortable, still trying to get comfortable in my own skin. And that's the thing, is like I have noticed that my addictive tendencies carry over. They carry over into other parts of my life. It wasn't just like my drug addiction. I'm on my phone more than I'd like to admit, and I lost it, and my phone broke, and then I didn't have it, and I like almost like had like anxiety. But then after I'm not having my phone for a while, I was more comfortable not having a phone, and then I got a phone, and now I'm like addicted to it again. I'm just
I go through that.
And
too.
so I realized though that there's probably skills that I should and need to probably learn by going to like some professional help or something like that, because like there's like adult skills that being an addict for like 8 years, and I can, especially when it comes to like young men, like that's a really critical time in someone's life. From when you're 16 to 21,
sure.
That's huge, right? Or like that's long.
You were in your mid-teens.
And that does a lot to somebody. And I think that there's like there's just like stuff that I don't even know I don't know, or stuff that I do know that I don't know, that I just don't know how to apply to my life because I just haven't practiced it enough.
Right. Yeah.
But other than that, like stuff's pretty great. I mean, really, it's really nice to be able. I mean, and that's the thing, is like my sleeping schedule, as far as like physically, I sleep for about like 4 or 5 hours at a time, and then I wake up, but I'm not like tired when I wake up. I know that I should be asleep when I wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, I know I should be asleep right now, but can't go back to sleep.
But I was like that all through my 20s.
Yeah.
I slept about 4 or 5 hours a night.
Yeah.
For a decade, and I didn't have any of these issues.
Yeah,
I just didn't need it.
I heard something that like it's like not a small, but it's like there's people that can do that don't like have, and my dad was like that too. He could party hard and then wake up, be the first one up in the morning,
sure.
Teeth brushed, showered, hair combed, and you're like, I just saw you passed out on the floor. There's no way. I was like, there's no way, dude.
Yeah.
No, he was an animal, but he could do that. And I think that I probably a little bit predisposed, amongst other things, to not sleep very much.
I could see that. You didn't sleep much as a baby. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of your whole journey. I'm proud of how far you've made it. I was a little skeptical when you guys started doing the methadone. I thought, what a cop-out. That it was a crutch, that it was a bunch of crap, and we went through all that, and I'm really impressed where you guys landed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because, it was a crutch, but people need crutches sometimes.
Sometimes you need a crutch.
Sometimes you need a crutch. But then once you're healed, you don't need the crutch anymore. But it's like if you broke your leg's fine, but you're still walking on that crutch because you like the feeling of it. That's where people are like, "What's wrong with you?" But no, having a crutch isn't bad all the time. It's when you don't. It was like
it's when you don't stop.
Or if you didn't need the crutch. And then you're just like, I'm going to just start using crutches.
Sure.
Because
we deal with people every day who've gotten stuck at a spot in their life, and they just struggle and they can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And the trauma, the addiction, whatever it was, happened decades before, and they just can't move past it.
Yeah.
You did. So
well, I'm working on it. It's
job.
still, it definitely is. I'm not going to say we're out of the woods yet, because like I said, there's still skills and things that I probably need to work on. And now that my job's coming to an end seasonally, I can have more time to do that. But
cool.
Yeah, but I really appreciate your guys' praise and words of affirmation, because that's really helpful. It is, and I do as much as you guys tell me all the time too. So it's like,
yeah, that's important. Having somebody say "I love you" or "Good job" is huge to everybody.
Yeah, because everyone's a little like more insecure than they'd like to admit, or thinks more
No, I'm not. What
poorly.
makes you think that?
My truck's huge. Are you kidding? Have you seen how big my truck is?
This is New Beginnings, and we are all just walking each other home. Thanks, Talyn.
Thank you guys.
I